Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. Good evening to all. I hope I am audible to you. So today we are going to discuss, we are going to start general pharmacology, and you say you might have seen this general pharmacology in the second year itself. At the beginning of your fourth sem, you might have this general pharmacology. So general pharmacology or general considerations in the pharmacology. So you might have studied this general aspects of pharmacology in the second year B.Pharm, and again this is very important for your GPAT Niper DI Pharmacist, all including your GPAT Niper DI and Pharmacist exam. So the general pharmacology is very important, right from the definition and some historical points. They used to ask question on this part. So general pharmacology, you can expect at least 3 to 6 question. You can expect 3 to 6 question only from general pharmacology for the GPAT, Niper, DI and Pharmacist exam. So that explains the importance of this general pharmacology for GPAT, Niper, DI Pharmacist, because if you see previous year's papers, you will find at least 3 to 6 questions from general pharmacology itself. Okay, so very important for general pharmacology. So it will take around 7 to 8 lectures to complete the general pharmacology, and I'll try to finish in 8 to 10 lectures. Okay, so weightage of general pharmacology for the GPAT Niper is 3 to 6 question. Questions, and this is not only in a GPAT but also in a Niper, drug inspector, government pharmacist, and all kind of exam. You will find plenty of questions from general pharmacology, right from the definitions to the historical points and few concepts. So today we are going to discuss this general pharmacology, and we'll start with the definitions. We will start with the definition first. So what is the pharmacology? So pharmacology is nothing but the detailed study of drugs. So what is the technical definition of pharmacology? So detailed study of drugs, okay, particularly their actions on living system, living animals, organs or cells. These actions may be either beneficial or harmful. So pharmacology consists of a detailed study of drugs and their effect on humans. So there might be beneficial effect, there might be harmful effect, but we are interested in the beneficial effect only. So we are going to discuss the beneficial effect most, but also at the same time adverse effects or toxic effect, that is harmful effect also. So pharmacology, in short, it is a study of drugs, their mechanism, their action on a particular tissue, then their their kinetics, dynamics, their toxicity, etc., etc. So very first question they can ask you in from this part, who is the father of pharmacology? So remember, you might know Oswald Schimmelberg. Oswald Schimmelberg is known as a father of pharmacology. Oswald Schimmelberg. Oswald Schimmelberg is known as a father of pharmacology. So there are certain definitions, but before that I would like to explain you few historical points. So few historical points from general pharmacology, and on that part also they already asked question. तो ये जनरल फार्माकोलॉजी का कुछ हिस्टोरिकल पॉइंट्स हैं और इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चंस ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं. तो हिस्टोरिकल पॉइंट्स मीन्स फ्यू साइंटिस्ट एंड देयर डिस्कवरी, जिसके ऊपर मल्टीपल टाइम्स क्वेश्चन आ चुके हैं. फ्यू साइंटिस्ट एंड डिस्कवरी. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई हैव लिस्टेड ओनली फ्यूज, not all. Whatever is important I have listed over here. So historical points, scientists and their contribution in the pharmacology. The first one is Alexander Fleming, and most of you might know what is the contribution of Alexander Fleming in the pharmacology. So basically Alexander Fleming has discovered the penicillins in the 1930 अराउंड पेनिसिलिन का डिस्कवरी किया है अलेक्जेंडर फ्लेमिंग ने फ्रॉम वन फंगस नोन एज अ पेनिसिलियम नोटेटम, but commercially that was obtained from Penicillium chrysogenum. Nowadays it is obtained from Penicillium chrysogenum, but penicillins they are discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. Remember, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. Now Oswald Schimmelberg is known as a father of pharmacology, but father of Indian pharmacology is known as a father of Indian pharmacology. Who is the father? So Cole Ramnath Chopra. Cole Ramnath Chopra is considered as a father of Indian pharmacology. Father of Indian pharmacology is Cole Ramnath Chopra. So Oswald Schimmelberg is a father of pharmacology, but father of Indian pharmacology is nothing but the Cole Ramnath Chopra. Alexander Fleming discovered the penicillin in 1928 with the one fungus known as a Penicillium notatum. Then Sir James Black, कौन सा Black? Sir James Black. He is known as a father of modern pharmacology. Modern pharmacology. Father of modern pharmacology is known as a Sir James Black. Now there is one scientist known as a Clark, and he has a contribution in the pharmacology that he demonstrated that occupational theory for the receptors. Means after the how drugs will act, drug will interact with the receptor, but for that this Clark has given one theory known as a occupational theory. Now Otto Loewy, he demonstrated that proof of transmission of nerve by neurotransmitter. So how there is a transmission of nerve impulse, how there is a transmission of signal from one nerve to another nerve. So that demonstration was given by the Otto Loewy. He has given the proof transmission of nerve across the neurotransmitter. Proof of transmission across the nerve by neurotransmitter means he has demonstrated that there is some chemicals which helps to transfer a message from one neuron to another neuron, and that is a neurotransmitter. This was given by Otto Loewy. Alkist classified the adrenergic receptor alpha and beta. Alpha beta receptor they was given by this Alkist scientist. Then Wasserman, then Waxman has discovered the streptomycin. So streptomycin antibiotic, the credit of discovery of streptomycin goes to the Waxman. Then multiple times question was asked in the GPAT also, but also in a Niper drug inspector. So who discovered the insulin? insulin was discovered in the 1921 by the two scientists known as Benting and Best. Benting and Best discovered इंसुलिन इन 1921. इसके ऊपर मल्टीपल टाइम्स क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. नाउ Sanger is the scientist. Sanger he worked on a structure of chemical structure of your insulin. Chemical structure of insulin was given by this Sagner. Then Laundy, he coined the term anesthesia. But Goodale in 1920, इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. तो Goodale in 1920 he described the 4 stages of general anesthesia. There are 4 stages of general anesthesia. When we will see the general anesthetic chapter, at that time you will came to know. But you might be aware about that there are 4 stages of general anesthesia. Stage 1 is a analgesia, stage 2 is a delirium, stage 3 is a stage of surgical anesthesia, and stage 4 is a respiratory paralysis. So again in the stage 3 you have 4 planes, but those stages were described by this Goodale in 1920. This is again important. Now whatever classification of antiarrhythmic drugs is there, so drugs used in the cardiac arrhythmia, so there are 5-6 classes, right? So that classification is given by the, that classification was written or that given by the Vaughan, Williams and Singh. Vaughan, Williams and Singh. They given the classification for the antiarrhythmic drug. There are 5 classes. Say first class is a sodium channel blocker, second class is a beta blocker, third class is a potassium channel blocker, fourth class is a calcium channel blocker, class is a adenosine. Now this classification is very important. When we will see antiarrhythmic drug, at that time I will tell you. But on a 22 there was one exam on 22nd March, MPSC drug inspector exam. There was also one question, calcium channel blockers comes under which class of antiarrhythmic drug. So that answer was a class 4. Now Horace and Well, they used nitric oxide, laughing gas, in the dental anesthesia in 1844. Paul Ehrlich, you might know, he coined the term chemotherapy and also discovered a sulfasan dye for the treatment of syphilis. Domack, he is known as a father of modern era of chemotherapy. He demonstrated that prontosil die in a pyrogenic infection. Prontosil is actually dye which is metabolized by the body by azoreductase into a active compound known as a sulfonamide. So इसके ऊपर बहुत बार क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. Prontosil red, that is a dye which is a product of sulfonamide. Now we'll see the definitions again. Now very first we have seen the pharmacology. Pharmacology is nothing but the pharmacology deals with the detailed study of drugs, on the detailed study of drugs, their actions on the living animals, organs, tissues. These actions may be beneficial or harmful. But father of pharmacology is Oswald Schmidberg. Under the pharmacology you have different kind of definitions. First definition is very important. This is a pharmacokinetics. First definition is, that is a pharmacokinetics. Pharmacokinetics. So pharmacokinetics means most of the students, they know that ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. So these are the kinetic process, movement of drug in the body, absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. So it is a study of absorption, distribution, metabolism, elimination and their relationship towards the pharmacological response. So in short, pharmacokinetics means what body does with the drug, what body does with the drug is a kinetics, है ना. बॉडी ड्रग के साथ में क्या कर रही है, दैट इज काइनेटिक्स. बॉडी ड्रग के साथ में क्या करती है, बॉडी ड्रग को एब्सॉर्ब करती है, उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती है, उसको मेटाबोलाइज करती है, उसको एलिमिनेट करती है. दैट इज नोन एज अ काइनेटिक्स. फार्माकोकाइनेटिक्स मीन्स व्हाट बॉडी डज विद द ड्रग. नाउ there is one more definition under this ADME known as a drug deposition. Drug deposition. What do you mean by drug deposition? So last three process, distribution, metabolism and excretion amongst the kinetics. जो लास्ट के तीन प्रोसेस होते हैं काइनेटिक्स में से, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड एलिमिनेशन, उसको बोलते हैं कंबाइनली टुगेदर, दे आर नोन एज अ ड्रग डिपोजिशन प्रोसेस. सो दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट, ड्रग डिपोजिशन. इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है मल्टीपल टाइम्स. एंड व्हाट बॉडी डज विद ड्रग, ऑलरेडी 2-4 बार पूछा है. व्हाट डू मीन बाय काइनेटिक्स, ऑलरेडी पूछा है. सो काइनेटिक्स मीन्स movement of drug within a body, absorption, distribution, metabolism, elimination. They are known as a pharmacokinetics. And what body does with the drug is nothing but the pharmacokinetics. Distribution, metabolism and elimination together known as a drug deposition process. Now second definition है यहाँ पे pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics. So what do you mean by dynamics? So it is nothing but the relationship. It is a quantitative relationship of a drug and its biological or therapeutic effect. Quantitative, कितनी क्वांटिटी में कितना इफेक्ट देगा. क्वांटिटेटिव स्टडी ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल एंड थेरेपेटिक इफेक्ट ऑफ अ ड्रग. मीन्स यहाँ पे क्या है कि व्हाट बॉडी डज विद ड्रग, यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा व्हाट ड्रग डज विद द बॉडी. So what drug does with the body is nothing but the pharmacodynamics. What drug does to the body is a dynamics. Means it is a drug may interact with the receptors of your body, may change the physiology. Drug may induce, drug may inhibit some enzymes in the body. Drug may act as a metabolite replacement. So what drug does to the body is the dynamics. What body does to the drug is a kinetics. Toxicology is nothing but it is a, you can say it is a study of poisonous effect of drug and other chemicals on the body. Poisonous effect of drug and chemicals on the body, that is known as toxicology. These definitions are important because questions, they used to ask question right from the definition also. Multiple times they have let us, what do you mean by pharmacokinetics, what do you mean by dynamics, right? What do you mean by drug deposition process, and who is the father of pharmacology, like that. Once these definitions are important. What you are taking a, suppose you are taking a tablet over here, tablet by oral route. So orally you are taking tablet will go inside the body, will absorb into the blood. After the absorption, it will be distributed to various tissues and cells, these areas of your body, okay, and then it will be metabolized, it will be excreted. So a tablet will go into the stomach, it will dissolve, it will disintegrate and it will dissolve, it will liberate drugs, it will liberate API drug. After that there is an absorption of drug. After absorption of drug in the blood, absorption of drug means movement of drug from GIT to the blood, that is absorption. After the absorption, drug will be distributed in the various body compartments, that is known as a distribution. That is known as distribution. And distribution, so drug may go at a site of action and it will change the physiology of body. After that, drug will be metabolized and the metabolic product of drug will be excreted through a various route of elimination. So this movement, that is absorption, distribution, metabolism, elimination, they are known as a kinetics. And drug may interact with the receptor, or it may inhibit the enzyme, or may alter the physiology, that is known as dynamics. So what body does with the drug is a kinetics, ADME. What drug does with the body is known as a dynamics. Okay, so in our ancient literature known as the Vedas, Vedas, Rigveda, Atharvaveda, Yajurveda, they are known as the oldest literature where there is a record of use of certain herbs in humans to alter the physiology. So Ayurveda is an ancient system, and in that you have Charak Samhita, Sushrut Samhita, and Vagbhata. Before 3000 BC means 3000 year before Christi, there was a literature known as the Vedas. In that there is a written different herbs and their uses. Okay. After that, we have now modern medicines or allopathy. Allopathy means other suffering. Homeopathy means similar suffering. And homeopathy is discovered by father of homeopathy, Samuel Hahnemann. Now, what do you mean by clinical pharmacy? Drug, it deals with the drug formulation, their stability. It is a study of drug formulation, their stability, their shelf life, handling, and educating the patient about the compliance and counseling of a drug, administration, monitoring of errors. So these are the clinical pharmacy. So clinical pharmacy basically deals with the formulation, their stability, their shelf life, handling, and educating the patient for the compliance for the use of drug, counseling them how to administer the drug, monitoring the errors. That is known as a clinical pharmacy. Now therapeutics means what? Therapeutics, it came from one word, therapeutics. Therapeutics means to care for or to nurse. Therapeutic deals with the prevention and cure of disease or relief of symptoms. Pharmacoepidemiology. This question was there on this part. Pharmacoepidemiology क्या है? So it is a study of use of drug in a larger number of population. So pharmacoepidemiology is the study of use and effect of drug in a larger population to gain the insight into efficacy and safety of a new drug for approval to use in the community. So it is a pharmacoepidemiology. So basically क्या है कि जो यूज और उसका इफेक्ट है ड्रग का इन लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन आफ्टर अप्रूवल ऑफ न्यू ड्रग. नया ड्रग कोई मार्केट में है, बहुत सारे लोगों ने उसका यूज चालू किया, उसमें उसका इफेक्ट क्या है उसकी स्टडी, गेट अ डीप इनसाइट इनटू एफिकेसी एंड सेफ्टी ऑफ दैट ड्रग इन लार्जर पॉपुलेशन में. फार्माकोएपिडेमोलॉजी के ऊपर क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी आ चुका है. देन फार्माकोइकोनॉमिक्स. एज द नेम इंडिकेट, इकोनॉमिक्स मतलब क्या? इकोनॉमिक्स nothing but the analysis of the cost of therapy and its benefit to the society. तो पर्टिकुलर ट्रीटमेंट के लिए कितना कॉस्ट आता है और उसका बेनिफिट कितना है, तो दैट स्टडी इज डन इन द फार्माकोइकोनॉमिक्स. सो एनालिसिस ऑफ द कॉस्ट ऑफ therapy and benefits to the society is known as a pharmacoeconomics. Then pharmacovigilance. Identification and response to the tissue and response to the tissue of a drug via safety detection detection of adverse reaction, monitoring of adverse reaction, and that depends on the voluntary reporting, prescription monitoring, medical record, then statistical studies in the population. That is a pharmacovigilance. ये इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी आ चुका है 2026 का जो DI का एग्जाम हुआ है उसमें. What do you mean by pharmacovigilance? Monitoring of adverse drug reaction is a function of pharmacovigilance. So identification and response to the issue of a drug via detection of adverse effect, that depends on the voluntary reporting, prescription monitoring, medical record, then statistical studies in the population. That is a pharmacovigilance. These kind of definitions they used to ask in the exam. That's why we are taking the definition also. Definition भी important है, definition के ऊपर भी questions. Now next is the pharmacogenetics. Pharmacogenetics, as the name indicates, genetics. So difference in the pharmacological effect due to genetics, that is studied under the pharmacogenetics heading. So study of genetic variation in the drug effect and metabolism, dealing with the identification of inheritance, identification of inherited variance, inherited variation mediated by single gene. That is nothing but the pharmacogenetics. Study of genetic variation in the drug effect, its metabolism, dealing with the identification of inherited variations, that is through a single gene, is known as a pharmacogenetics. Pharmacogenomics. Next step is pharmacogenomics. Examination of genomic variability to access its effect, to access the effect of drug response on in a human, microbes, and tumor, and explore the way of variation that can be used to predict the patient response. Pharmacogenomics. So examine genomic variability. हर एक का जीन कंपोजिशन अलग होता है, नोन एज जीनोम. जीनोमिक वेरिएबिलिटी हर एक का अलग अलग है, टू एक्सेस इट्स इफेक्ट ऑन अ ड्रग response of human, microbes, tumor, or explore the way this variation can be used to predict the patient response. That is known as a pharmacogenomics. Pharmacometrics. Metrics means measurement. Deals with the quantitative relationship between the kinetics and dynamics, known as the pharmacometrics. GPD modeling, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics modeling. ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आपको. Pharmacometrics means deals with the quantitative relationship between kinetics and dynamics. PKPD modeling, pharmacokinetic pharmacodynamic modeling, known as a pharmacometrics. Okay. Next we'll see chemotherapy. Definition है chemotherapy. So it is concerned with the use of drug and its effect upon microorganism or parasite which are living and multiplying in the living system. So basically it is nothing but the antibacterial treatment. The term is related to antibacterial treatment. Chemotherapy. Chemotherapy क्या होता है? It is concerned with the effect of drug upon microorganisms and parasites which are living and multiplying in the living organism. Basically antibacterial. So originally this chemotherapy was used for this purpose, but nowadays chemotherapy is also used for anti-cancer treatment, but it is roughly used, but that is difference. Now, another definition very important, both बार multiple times question आ चुका है. What do you mean by orphan drug? What do you mean by orphan drug? Multiple times question was there in an exam. If you see the previous year's papers, if you analyze previous year question papers, GPAT, Niper, DI Pharmacist. You will find a lot of times this definition was asked. So orphan drug. So these are the drugs which are used in the treatment of rare diseases. These are the drugs which are used in the treatment of rare diseases. Drugs used in the treatment of rare diseases known as orphan drug. Say for example, pentamidine. Pentamidine is a antibacterial. The list includes sodium nitrite, fomepizole, liposomal amphotericin B, miltefosine, rifabutin, succimer, somatropin, digoxin, immunopac, and lithothyronine, and lot of drugs are there. Okay, these are the drugs which are used for the treatment of rare diseases. अब rare disease क्या होता है? So rare disease means a disease which is not common. Suppose particular disease there, and out of 1 lakh student, out of 1 lakh population, only 1 or 2 are having that disease, known as a rare disease. कैंसर सबको नहीं होता है, किसी किसी को होता है. मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस सबको नहीं होता है ना, किसी को होता है. एटेक्सिया किसी को होता है ना. मस्कुलर डिस्ट्रोफी सबको नहीं होता, किसी को होता है ना. सेरेब्रल पाल्सी सबको नहीं होता है, किसी किसी को होता है. So that is known as a rare disease which is rarely seen. Now orphan drug was first time enacted, and orphan drug was first time defined in the Orphan Drug Act, which was in a USA first time. Orphan Drug Act 1983 first time it was enacted in a USA. And I remember. So there are few top selling orphan drug list over here. You can see rituximab used in the cancer, ranibizumab used in the ophthalmology, somatotropin used in the metabolism, lenalidomide used in the cancer, imitinab mesylate again used in the cancer, filgrastim we have already seen in the last lecture, so it is used in the hematology, and glatiramer acetate used in the recombinant factor 8, blood clotting factor 8 used in the hematology. Then bosentan monohydrate used in the cardiovascular disease. Then bortezomib used in the cancer again. So there is a list of drugs which are used in the treatment of rare diseases known as orphan drug. Now another definition important and very important for pharmacist exam. Also they can ask in a GPAT. So what is the definition? So definition is essential drug list. Essential drugs. So these are the drugs listed by WHO, World Health Organization. These are the drugs listed by WHO in the list known as National List of Essential Medicine. What are essential drug list? The list of these are the list, these are the drugs listed by WHO under the list of National List of Essential Medicine. These drugs they can satisfy the healthcare need of majority of population. मतलब क्या? These are the drugs that can satisfy the healthcare need of majority of population. मान लीजिए आपका पॉपुलेशन है ना 140 करोड़. इंडिया का पॉपुलेशन कितना है? 40 करोड़. सबको तो कैंसर नहीं होगा. Out of that 140 crore, all patient will not have cancer. But out of this 140 crore, most of the people they need, out of this 140 crore, there may be lot of citizens which are suffering from fever, headache, etc. Body pain. infection, right? So list made by a WHO, list of drug which is made by WHO which can satisfy the healthcare need of majority of population, that is known as essential drug list. Remember, there was a 4 question in a there was a 4 question from this essential drug list in 2023. 2023 में एग्जाम हुआ था फार्मासिस्ट का. इसमें essential drug list के ऊपर 4 क्वेश्चन थे. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज व्हाट इज essential drug list. तो essential drug list is list of drug, है ना, which can satisfy healthcare need of majority of population. Second, who publishes the essential drug list? WHO publishes the essential drug list और respective regulatory agency of country. जैसे इंडिया का कौन है, CDSCO, ठीक है. Then latest essential drug list was published in 2022 which has a 384 drugs, है ना. उसके पहले था 17th which was in 2011, 384 drugs or 348 drugs. Now there are certain definitions like P drug. So what do you mean by P drug? P drug or personal drug. Actually such kind of concept does not exist, but होता है ना कि these are the drugs which are chosen by physician for a prescribing regularly with one to a patient with which one become a familiar. एक कोई पेशेंट है, रेगुलरली उसको एक आधा इशू है, वो जा रहा है और उसको रेगुलरली वही मेडिसिन दे रहा है, वो दैट पर्सन विल बिकम फैमिलियर विद दैट मेडिसिन एंड इट कैन बी कॉल्ड एज अ पी ड्रग और पर्सनल ड्रग, ठीक है. बट सच कंसेप्ट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. Now what are the sources of drugs? What do you mean by drug first? So what is the definition of a drug? ड्रग के डेफिनेशन के ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आता है. What is drug? It is a drug means it is a agent or chemical that is used to treat and used for the treatment, diagnosis, mitigation and prevention of any disease or disorder in the humans or animals. That is a drug. Drug means it is a agent or chemical that is used in the diagnosis, mitigation, treatment to alter the physiology in a human or in the animals. That is a drug. Now drug can be obtained from different sources. What are the sources of drug? Drug के sources क्या है? Drug may be obtained from a mineral origin, से आपका mineral origin sodium thiosulfate. Drug में came from animal source, जैसे hormones and enzymes are there. Sources of drug may be either it may either came naturally or है ना, एक तो क्या है कि naturally आ सकता है ना, या फिर synthetic हो सकता है. Naturally it may be either it may be obtained from minerals or from animal source or from plants or from microbes or synthetic. For example, so alkaloids, है ना, like morphine, atropine, ephedrine, emetine, vincristine. So morphine is a analgesic. Atropine is used as anti that is used as a parasympatholitic. Emetine is there. Vincristine is anti-cancer. That is obtained from plant source. Glycoside होता है ना. Say for example digoxin, which is used in the congestive cardiac failure, is also from plant origin. Which oils, fixed oils, non-volatile oils, so like castor oil, peanut oil, coconut oil, olive oil. So out of that, castor oil is a purgative in the nature. There's a laxative and purgative. Now volatile oils जो flavoring agents है, that can be used. Mineral oils can be used for its laxative property. Resins, oleoresins, gums, tannins, these are the secondary metabolites from the plant source that can be used as a drug. And a source of drug may be either natural or synthetic. Natural may it may come from mineral source or animal source or plant source or microbial source. Now, what do you mean by bioavailability? What do you mean by bioavailability? So very important, lot of time question they already asked. Bioavailability. Bioavailability means what? As the name indicate, नाम में क्या रखा है? नाम में ही सब कुछ रखा है. Bio means living system and availability means presence. So bio means what? It is a living system and availability means presence. So availability of drug in the biological system. Availability of drug in the biological system is nothing but the bioavailability. It is denoted by capital F. Bioavailability denoted by capital F. Availability of drug in a biological system. So it is nothing but the amount or percentage or fraction of drug that reaches to a systemic circulation from given dosage form. So amount or percentage or fraction of drug that reaches to a systemic circulation from the given dosage form is known as a bioavailability, denoted by capital F. है ना, मतलब कितना ड्रग ब्लड में गया है, आपने जो डोसेज फॉर्म लिया, टैबलेट लिया, कैप्सूल लिया, इंजेक्शन लिया, तो कितना ड्रग ब्लड में गया है, तो बोलेंगे अपन बायोअवेलेबिलिटी. Amount or the fraction or the percentage of drug that reaches to a systemic circulation from the given formulation, given route. Now when the drug is given by intravenous route, so the bioavailability is 100%. Remember, इसके ऊपर multiple times question आ चुके हैं. When drug is given by intravenous route, the bioavailability is a 100%. That is a F is equal to 1. 100% bioavailability means क्या? F is equal to 1. Right? That is a bioavailability. So what is the formula for bioavailability? जैसे मान लीजिए ना, यहाँ पे क्या है, आपने ड्रग ले लिया, जैसे आपने ड्रग ले लिया, ब्लड में उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन आना चालू हो जाएगा, बाद में कम हो जाएगा. So here is nothing but the absorption phase, is a elimination phase. Right? So what do you mean by bioavailability? So it is the now the ये जो क्या है सब, this is known as the area under curve. This is known as the area under curve. The curve, area under curve. So bioavailability is equal to area under curve after oral administration into dose of intravenous divided by area under curve after intravenous administration into dose of oral. So the formula for bioavailability is nothing but the F is equal to area under curve after oral administration into dose of IV divided by area under curve after intravenous administration into dose of oral. Right? Now few definitions are more definitions are there which are very important for your upcoming exam. जैसे पहला है बायो इक्विवेलेंस. What do you mean by bio equivalence? What do you mean by bio equivalence? Very important. When the rate and extent of bioavailability of a two formulation is the same. हमने देखा है what do you mean by bioavailability? Fraction of drug that reaches to systemic circulation. Now when the rate and extent of bioavailability of a active ingredient of a two formulations are same, and they are tested by standard method, so the two formulations are known as a bioequivalent. मतलब यू हैव 2 टैबलेट्स. कौन सा है पहला? पैरासिटामोल टैबलेट. मान लीजिए आपके पास क्या है? पैरासिटामोल टैबलेट. दूसरा है आपके पास कैल्पोल टैबलेट. पैरासिटामोल टैबलेट में क्या है? पैरासिटामोल है 500 मिलीग्राम. कैल्पोल टैबलेट में 500 मिलीग्राम पैरासिटामोल है. बट अगर कैल्पोल एंड पैरासिटामोल दोनों का बायो अवेलेबिलिटी अगर सेम है, if the rate and extent of bioavailability of two formulation, if it is same, they are known as a bioequivalent. Pharmaceutical equivalent means when two formulations contain same drug, same active ingredient, same reduce, same strength, concentration and dosage form, they are known as a pharmaceutical equivalent. So pharmaceutical equivalent means क्या? Suppose again two formulations, जैसे एक है आपका पैरासिटामोल 500 और है कैल्पोल 500. दोनों भी क्या है? दोनों both are the tablet. दोनों भी क्या है? टैबलेट डोसेज फॉर्म. पैरासिटामोल 500 पैरासिटामोल में भी है, कैल्पोल में भी है. कैल्पोल में भी पैरासिटामोल 500 है. बट दोनों में भी क्या है? सेम एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट है, सेम उसका स्ट्रेंथ है, सेम उसमें एक्सिपिएंट है, तो उसका डोसेज फॉर्म भी सेम है. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर नोन एज अ फार्मास्यूटिकल इक्विवेलेंट. व्हाट डू मीन बाय फार्मास्यूटिकल इक्विवेलेंट? इफ when two formulations contain same active ingredient and they are identical in the strength, dose उसका सेम है, concentration and dosage form, they are known as a pharmaceutical equivalent. Multiple times question आ चुका. But every pharmaceutical equivalent need not to be bioequivalent. अगर फार्मास्यूटिकल इक्विवेलेंट है उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि बायो इक्विवेलेंट है. टू फॉर्मुलेशन they might be pharmaceutical equivalent but they are not always bioequivalent. Bioequivalence is different thing. When the rate and extent of bioavailability of two formulation is the same, then it is known as a bioequivalent. है ना? Now another term is there, chemical equivalent and therapeutic equivalent. तो देखो हार्ड है ना, chemical equivalent and then chemical equivalent means if two drugs are having same salt, if they are synthesized by same method with the same condition, known as a chemical equivalent. And what do you mean by therapeutic equivalent? Therapeutic and two drugs are having same effect. When two drugs are having same effect, known as a therapeutic equivalent. When two drugs are having same effect, known as a therapeutic equivalent. अगर दो ड्रग का इफेक्ट अगर सेम है तो उसको थेरेपेटिक इक्विवेलेंट बोलते हैं. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय हार्ड ड्रग एंड व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सॉफ्ट ड्रग? अनदर डेफिनेशन. तो हार्ड drug and soft drug. So hard drug means what? These are the drugs which are not easy to metabolize in the body, means they resist the metabolism in the body, and that's why they are known as hard drugs. Hard drugs. Example is inaprilate, lisinopril and cromolyn. मतलब इनएप्रिलेट क्या है? इट इज एक्टिव मेटाबोलाइट ऑफ इनएप्रिल. ये ऑलरेडी एक्टिव मेटाबोलाइट है तो फर्दर मेटाबॉलिज्म नहीं होगा. So it is a hard drug. Lisinopril, cromolyn. So these drugs are not easily metabolized in the body. That's why they are known as a hard drug. What do you mean by soft drug? Soft drug means drug which are easily metabolized in the body. Soft drug means easily metabolized in the body. Example is acetyl pyridinium, soft chloramine. These are the drugs which easily gets metabolized in the body. That's why they are known as a soft drugs. ये जल्दी मेटाबोलाइज होते हैं. जो मेटाबोलाइज नहीं होते जल्दी रेजिस्ट करते हैं उनको हार्ड ड्रग बोलते हैं. जो मेटाबोलिज्म होता है इजीली तो अपन सॉफ्ट ड्रग बोलते हैं. एग्जाम्पल सारे पढ़ो यहाँ पे. व्हाट आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ हार्ड ड्रग एंड सॉफ्ट ड्रग. याद रखो हार्ड ड्रग के एग्जांपल्स क्या है, इनाप्रिलेट, देन लिसोनोप्रिल एंड क्रोमिलिन. सॉफ्ट ड्रग के क्या है एग्जांपल्स, acetylpyridinium, soft chloramine. Now what do you mean by bioavailability? We have already seen the fraction of drug that reaches to a systemic circulation from the given dosage from fraction absorbed into systemic circulation is known as bioavailability. So we have seen the formula of bioavailability. Bioavailability is equal to area under curve after oral administration divided by area under curve after intravenous into 100. It known as absolute bioavailability. ये क्या है, absolute bioavailability. Absolute bioavailability. ओरल यानी इंटरवेनस, जब दोनों कंपेयर किए जाते हैं तो उसको एब्सोल्यूट बोलते हैं. जब दो ओरल डोसेज फॉर्म्स when they are compared for bioavailability, they are known as the relative bioavailability. Now let's understand the first pass effect or pre-systemic metabolism. First pass effect or systemic metabolism. So when drug is given by oral route, it will go into the stomach, it will dissolve, disintegrate, dissolve, and the drug will be absorbed into GI lumen from the capillaries. यहाँ पे जो छोटे छोटे ब्लड वेसल है उसमें से ड्रग एब्सॉर्ब होके सर्कुलेशन में जाएगा यहाँ पे, और and most of the GIT area is supplemented with the GIT area में क्या है, जो भी आप न्यूट्रिएंट लेते हो, that nutrient should be carried to a liver, because liver is a metabolic factory of your body. Whatever nutrition, and you are taking drug orally, so drug along with your nutrition, they are absorbed, they are carried to a liver directly. So in the liver, some amount of drug, depending on the physicochemical properties of drug, it is metabolized before reaching to a systemic circulation. Systemic circulation में जाने, मेन ब्लड में जाने से पहले कुछ अमाउंट ड्रग का मेटाबोलाइज होता है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द प्रॉपर्टी, physicochemical properties of drug. Okay. Some amount of drug is metabolized before reaching to a systemic circulation, depending on the physicochemical properties of drug when drug is given by oral route. This metabolism is known as a pre-synaptic metabolism or first pass effect. Because जो भी आप GIT के थ्रू लेते हो, है ना, तो ड्रग along with the nutrition, that is absorbed into one vein known as a portal vein. Some drug may be metabolized over here and in the GIT wall. This metabolism is known as a first pass effect. This metabolism is known as a first pass . Right, so that is also shown by different drugs, and that depends on the physicochemical properties of drug. कौन से ड्रग्स है अपन बाद में डिस्कस कर लेंगे, बिकॉज ऑनलाइन में अभी व्हाट इज देयर नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं, हो रहा है, तो विल सी लेटर tomorrow.